And a big positive for Caitlin Clark fans out there, a big positive is that here is Caitlin Clark back on the basketball court, lads. We've seen her golfing. We've seen her golfing. We've seen her kind of everywhere. Everywhere but the basketball court. She said she's 100%. She said she's 100%. She's back playing, and obviously she's somebody that like is a freaking um hoop junkie. Like, she's going to play as much basketball as she can. If anything, that might have been a problem last summer. Like, even Kelsey Mitchell said it was like, yeah, she's probably going and like almost overdoing it. She's probably overdoing it in terms of basketball, not caring enough about recovery, which honestly could be one of those things where, yeah, it affected it, and hopefully she doesn't do that again. And you just never know what the injury came from. Hopefully they have a new medical team, which they do have. But here is her with Nancy Lieberman. Life's about showing up for your friends, people you admire, and building greatness for the future. Tagging Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever, and the WNBA. Obviously, look, Nancy Lieberman is one of the greatest ever. The greatest female basketball players ever. I think she played in the WNBA. Was she in her 50s when she played? But, like, she's somebody that's involved heavily in the Big Three. She's still heavily involved in basketball. And more importantly, she was heavily involved in that weird Cheryl Swoops beef that, paid my mortgage for a couple of months. That weird Cheryl Swoops, Stephen A. Smith beef. It was between the three of them. But yeah, it is an interesting one all around. It's an interesting one all around to see this. And obviously, look, Nancy Lieberman's there. Lynn Dunn just there in the background. She's always there. Lynn Dunn's always there. But this is a big thing. It's a big thing to see Caitlin Clark on the basketball court again. And look, that is important. It is an important thing. Lynn's Monsignor too. You've never seen Caitlin look this happy. This demon, this smile, welcome back. Like, genuinely, I'm happy to see Caitlin Clark back out on the floor again. Because, look, we all know this. And anyone who does, like, Caitlin Clark, healthy, is a top 5 player in the world. And if you want to go, if you go, I can take as low as 7 and believe you're arguing in good faith. If you go lower than 7, I'm just gonna take away your argument because I just know it's not in good faith. It's the same with, because I know anyone that's gonna argue that are gonna call me a fucking racist. It's the same with if you're arguing that Angel Reese is any lower than the 25th or the 30th best player in the W. If you have her higher than 15, I'm like, oh, I don't think so. If you have her top 10, I'm like, not a fucking hope. If you have her higher than 15, I'm like, If you have her between 20 and 15, I'm like, yeah, that's probably right. Have her between 20 and 15. If you have her lower than 30, I'm like, yeah, I'm not taking your opinion seriously. You're just bullshitting here. But yeah, like, it is going to be good to see, hopefully, Caitlin Clark back on the floor at a level of the top 5 player that she was. Like, coming into last season, she was the favorite for MVP for a reason. And by the way, before she picked up the second injury, like, obviously she picked up 3 injuries last season. Before she picked up the second one, she was the favorite to win MVP. Like, even after the first groin injury where she missed 4 games, she was still the favorite to win the MVP. That is how good, that is how good Caitlin Clark was. But it was the second injury she picked up against. It looked like she wasn't healthy at all. It looked like she was just playing through adrenaline, if we're being honest. It looked like she was just playing on adrenaline. Because if you guys didn't see, like, she had her groin strapped up. It was the second injury. It looked like it was the one against Seattle, where she kind of tripped over her own feet. But she was, people had seen her strapping up her leg before that. Like, they looked back maybe 2 or 3 games earlier. It was when that, like, it wasn't even a cold streak shooting wise. It was like she couldn't even move. It started off in that game against the Valks. I think it was the Valks, Aces, and Storm games where you're like, something's wrong here. something's wrong. I'm like, she's like tripping over her own feet. Like, it was before that, even during that spell, she was still favored for MVP in the bookies. And with however well Fee was playing. I think she's probably going to come into next season. I think it's going to be hard for Asia to three-peat. She has to outperform herself. But I would say she has a good chance of winning. I would say after Asia, after Fee, I would say she has the next best chance. Because Sabrina Ionescu is not going to do it for a season. She's just not. I'm all out on Sabrina Ionescu. I am all out on Sabrina Ionescu. I'm going to be honest. I'm all out on Sabrina. Not all out on Sabrina as a good player. I'm all out on Sabrina as an MVP candidate. But I think next season, outside of Fee and Aja, she should come in as third in an MVP race. And like, I think with the way they lost the finals, it's always one of those things where like narratives are a lot. And I thought Alyssa Thomas's best chance was this year because of the triple-double narrative. But with the fact that how badly they got beaten in the finals and how bad she was in the finals, it's one of those things where it's like, you can't just quote triple doubles when you are a handoff merchant. You just can't do that. That's just one of those tough things. But yeah, look, it is genuinely a interesting thing to see. Look, Caitlin's back on the floor. It's a good thing for everybody. I think, as far as I'm aware, I think they have a Team USA kind of mini camp soon enough. I think they they might have one, but they definitely have one in March. I think that's when she's looking to go back. I think maybe she's not. If they have a mini camp in November, she just mightn't do it. She might be ready for that level of play immediately. But when she comes into March, I think they play games. I think they have a couple of games in March. I think even though they qualify for the World Cup, they're still playing in the qualifying tournament, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how. I'm not a million% sure how true that is. But as far as I'm aware, I could be wrong with that, so don't take that as fact. But yeah, I could be very wrong with that. But I do think, hopefully, we get to see her a little bit in March or April. Because, like, we're not going to see Caitlin Clark play in we're not going to see her play in Unrivaled, obviously. Anything in Project B, even if she does play, it's not going to be till after next season anyway. And then hopefully she's back, and hopefully there's no lockout. At the end of the day, none of this shit matters if there's a lockout. None of this matters if it's a lockout. We better hope, if there is a lockout, we better hope Project B saves us. That's all I'm going to say. We better hope Project B saves us. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. So anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Anyway, I'll see you guys.